Hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. This is our first session with Hardwired Island. We are doing character creation today. So we are about to find out which cyberpunk tropes our 90s kids feel like being. This is going to be a day, isn't it? So this is our first session with Hardwired Island. So we're going to do our standard icebreaker. Hello, welcome. My name is Kipser. I will be your game master today. We have Melissa on my left. Yes, you're my left. I don't know if that's on the stream. Followed by Jeff below her on my tray, and then someone wearing potentially what appears to be a tinfoil hat and or a strainer on their head. Oh no. Oh no, it's getting more. Okay.
Hello, I am D3-3K.
There is the option of playing an android in this game. All right.
So someone has taken that option.
It would appear.
I think we might get some androids in the party. As an icebreaker, sort of introduce you guys, just in case we get some new viewers for the Hardwired Island. I have a bit of a tough question, but from all the future space shows, books, comics, and games, what would you say you'd actually want to live in, to survive as a normal person in? And if you're feeling bold, which one would you least like to live in? So for myself, I would probably want to live in one of the more hopeful future worlds like No Man's Sky, where everybody gets spaceships, or in Star Trek, where everything is fairly nice most of the time, except for the Dominion War. You just like fly around and explore. I like the flying around and exploring and just being able to live games if I were to live in that world. I absolutely would not want to live in Alien or Star Wars. I won't take any other ones because I know everybody else will probably want to use some of those less fun futures. So if anybody has any ideas while they introduce.
I think I would like to live in The Expanse.
Oh, really?
Specifically, I think I could really be impactful in being a revolutionary.
Yeah,
I would like to fight for justice, and I think The Expanse allows that really well.
Yes, it does.
What I would not like to live in is I don't think I would like to, as much as I love Mass Effect, I don't think I would want to live in Mass Effect.
Oh, that would be that's a hard world to live in. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see if you get to be a rebel leader in here. Derek, Melissa, Anybody else?
I'll go.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
It's interesting. I like the idea of one of the Star Treks as being a place to want to live.
Yes.
probably a little more next generation-ish.
I love that.
Yeah. I don't want to be in Voyager. I don't want to be stuck thinking I'm never going to get home in my lifetime. I don't
Stuck
think
for 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
round in a circle over and over again.
Right. So probably like TNG-ish. And then I would say probably not Battlestar Galactica. Cool show to watch. I don't think that would be
that's a good one. Yeah. Now, are we talking like early 2000s Battlestar Galactica you wouldn't want to live in, or what was the 1980s was the other one?
I've only seen the newer one.
Okay, yeah, me too.
I would not want to live. I would not want to live in that.
Yes.
Not least because everybody is a Nepo baby, basically.
Well,
true, but I mean, you are likely to get a hot android boyfriend, girlfriend, etc.
That is true.
That seemed to be a theme.
There is that, because I feel like I would end up on one of the ships that doesn't have enough resources and
gets left behind.
And no, I don't think so. So those are my answers.
All right, Jeff, Derek.
Okay. I would want to live in Fifth Element because it's relatively dystopian, but it's a bright dystopian. And
I like
there's
that.
There's really cool opera, and like you can go on cruises around and stuff. And like the alien Twi'leks, definitely not Twi'leks because I'm sure those are definitely copyright. So it's pretty awesome. So I really like that one. I would totally live in Blade Runner as well, even though especially the Denis Villeneuve depiction of it, because I just love the aesthetic of it. It looks really cool. I also wouldn't mind living in the Total Recall movie from like 1990 because I mean, why not? It's cool. You can mess around with memory, and like if you don't like your life, you can just upload a different one, and now you're something else. It's great.
Yeah, true.
Where would I not want to live? I don't know. RoboCop, maybe. I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't go well. Like I feel like
yeah, that's fair.
Probably a bit violent, something like that.
Yeah, there's a fair number of them that just don't go well in the long run. Derek.
So I know you said that Star Wars is a place you would not want to live, and I get it because all of everything just centers around the conflict between the ever-changing forms of the Empire. But that was such a big part of my childhood. I would absolutely, and of course, I'm narcissistic enough to think I would be empowered with the Force. So like, there's no cooler like a power to Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
I mean, kind of shenanigans. Like that's not the future. That's a galaxy long, long ago. It's right there. The question,
but it's far, far away. Maybe they measure time differently. It's all relative.
The question says future, space, shows, books, movies, comics, games.
I can tell you with certainty where I would absolutely not want to live. The StarCraft universe. Played that a lot. There's nowhere that's safe. The Zerg will just take over everything.
That's true. I think Warhammer is probably also not great to live in the future. Yeah, it's the same kind of as StarCraft. All right, cool. So there we go. Now, I'm going to talk for the next 10 minutes and introduce the world to you. Apologies, and I hope you enjoy. So, Hardwired Island is a retro future cyberpunk game published by Weird Age Games. They are an Australian company, and okay, thanks, Jeff. And you will see the use of the word prime minister instead of president because we're Australian now. A lot of the inspiration for Hardwired Island is from anime shows like Cowboy Bebop, Bubblegum Crisis, and Ghost in a Shell. So if you're playing with any 90s idea of the future in this game, and we are in the future year of 2020 in 2025, don't worry about it. But our players are going to have the opportunity to try to pull things back from like a corporation rim world. It to me, because I just recently watched Murderbot, which again, he could live in that one, but I wouldn't want to live in the corporation rim in Murderbot world. But it feels like we're at the edge where the corporation rim is about to start and become and take over. And we're just at that precipice where we could pull it back. So that's kind of the idea of Hardwired Island from my perspective. And we'll see what the players choose to do with that. Now, historically, on March 27, 1996, a meteorite struck Earth's northern hemisphere. The impact, sometimes called the Impact 2, since the first one killed the dinosaurs, caused widespread environmental damage that humanity has yet to fully recover from. But it supercharged public interest in space exploration as a means of survival. If there were ever an Impact 3, around the world, new political unions began pouring money into space programs. Think Pacific Rim, but we went with space exploration instead of giant robots as the solution. Teach their own. Everyone has handled it differently. The European Union bolstered its ranks with new members eager to join its burgeoning solar energy programs. Groups relatively untouched by Impact 2, like the African Union, launched lunar missions. Some countries sold lucrative space construction contracts, giving corporations the excuse and funding they needed to make their own space push. By 1999, the space rush was well and truly underway. In 2000, reorganized UN negotiated the Langray Treaty. It set the standard that every country serious about space exploration has followed since. resources set aside from construction of common use space transportation and solar energy networks, prohibition of orbital weapons and most other military construction, and so on. So things that are generally rules that probably won't touch you. The second provision of the treaty established the Grand Cross program, though. Through several crewed space station existed by the several I can speak English. Several crewed space stations existed by 2000s. There were no major settlements. The program would and did create them. This settlement would be the combined effort of many UN nations capable of sustaining millions of people with minimal assistance. It would become humanity's gateway to the stars. The Grand Cross officially opened in 2010. When enough of the structure had been completed to support human life. The first wave of immigration was mostly workers, researchers, and their families. Some were lottery winners or wealthy elitists who wanted in at the ground floor, and some, by a curious coincidence, were both. Grand Cross was initially run by an interim council of representatives from the program's backers, overseen by the UN committee. Many backers began to demand perks through they were eventually willing to settle for nobody else getting any, crab bucketing. The US and China in particular, tried to undermine smaller nations or coerce them into withdrawing from the council. An alliance of space-based corporations known as the Off-World Cartel has moved in. While they sell space exploration as a shared dream, they strive for, along with everyone else, their true aim is to control the Grand Cross and through it, the future of space settlement. As their influence spread, so does inequity and crime. The first three immigration waves at Grand Cross happened in 2010, 2012, and 2013. People came in. The first two waves are first-generation crossers. They're also called builders. A few first-gen politicians co-opted the term to make themselves seem like they were down-to-earth underdogs, and it stuck. People who came after the Grand Cross opened, either in the third wave or smaller ones between then and now, are sometimes called newcomers. This is falling out of fashion, partly because it's a weird thing to say to someone who's lived there for 7 years, but also because it became weaponized by asshats as an insult. Second-generation crossers, those are those who grew up on the station, including those who were born on Earth and went through high school here, the sort of people who like to think that younger people are ungrateful, and they got the name double crossers, which is fun. And a lot of double crossers use it ironically. In modern terms, we would call them millennials. That's our term for millennials in this game. In 2017, Grand Cross held its first real election. It was won by the cartel-backed Unity Party in a platform of opening space access to all. Once they achieved power, their influence turned to tax incentives and privatizing services for the off-world cartel. Vocal opposition has kept them from going too far as they wanted, and the Unity team was quick to blame the opposition when everything started getting worse on the station. If the next election favors the cartel, they'll be on their way to becoming the landlords of human space. This is where the Murderbot reference comes from, I think. In 2019, a habitat at the L4 point was destroyed due to a critical failure. The area known as Guggenhaben was pronunciation unknown, was a partially completed toroid habitat built by the EU by Laderitter Orbital, a member of the off-world cartel. This event became known as the L4 disaster. The disaster's severity had a chilling effect, but since too much had already been invested into space settlement, the work simply continued at a slower, more cautious pace. Many L4 refugees, after the initial collapse of L4 have moved to Grand Cross as the only space station large enough to be able to take in that many refugees. The year is 2020. Humanity is spread to space. There are dreams, futures, and hopes in the stars, but the elections are less than a year away, and it's anyone's guess what's about to happen in this world. So that is our history to date. Welcome to the year 2020. This was our first time going through this year, I promise. And absolutely nothing bad happened the first time we did this year.
Not at all.
Not
Nothing
at
bad.
all. All right. So you guys, our players, are citizens of the L5 Grand Cross Space Station in the alternate 2020, trying to live your everyday lives while fighting for the station's future. I really do seem to be running a lot of alternate reality games. So, Mystery Flesh Pit was alternate 1970s. We're now in alternate 1990s to 2000s. We will also be playing the Super Ink Buster campaign from the Tales from L5, which is a campaign book you can get from Weird Age Games, which means they will be citizens of the Hive or a promenade around it. This is a district at one of the station's end caps. The station is a long cylinder. It's based on the O'Neill. Well, let me double check that. The O'Neill cylinder in the Earth Moon L5 point. Yeah, so it's a old concept that we had about how to build a space station. So you guys are on one of the end caps in a district called the Hive. It's tightly controlled by a group of corporations led by Entertainment and Electronic Corp Applary Inc. The Hive looms like a fortress over the city below. It's actually 3 arcology towers. Maitre, you said the Expanse. So in the Expanse, you have the arcology towers that are like that triangle sphere with the holes in the middle of it. Yeah. Okay. So you guys kind of have one of those, except it's honeycomb themed. It's themed like a beehive.
Nice.
Very cool.
Except it's owned by corporations, so only so cool. Each split into a number of smaller towers and connected with walkways such that they look like a tessellate hexagons from above. At best, the Hive is a well-maintained community with healthy supply of jobs in consumer electronics and daytime TV, primarily variety sort of shows and quiz shows. At worst, it's a shining white monument to classical capitalism, an apple white, some might say, labyrinth with no exit. So, there's no dust in the corners, if you will. It doesn't take too much to register to live within the Hive beyond a willingness to sign up on the dotted line. It's micromanaged living for good and for ill. The arcology towers have all you could need in your day-to-day within their walls, from education to entertainment. Most residents are English nationals, so you got your British accents or your Australian, brought here by the Hive's corporate owners, or a kind of tech-obsessed guy. Again, this could be a guy that maybe, or girl, you had a relationship with and then broke up with, and or other things, but they're the type of tech-obsessed guys that have known to fall into the next big thing, namely NFTs and cryptocurrency. Is big in the Hive right now. So once you opt in, regardless of your reason and or accidental relation, opting out is not easy. To maintain the kind of walled garden Appropriate Inc. envisioned, daily life has become something carefully organized, scheduled, and branded with corporate measures and messages. Life in the Hive is clean, efficient, and precisely controlled. The interior are reminiscent of gigantic shopping malls, all carefully lit to evoke daylight 18 hours a day. Augmented reality advertisements are a big part of the economy and culture of the Hive. All residents wear AR-sensitive glasses or cybernetic implants. You guys are getting AR-sensitive glasses as an asset for free from the Hive because they own you, just as an FYI. The area surrounded the tower originally contained elaborate gardens and holiday resorts. However, the hive developed and connected its buildings. It became impractical for citizens to access the outside. More significantly, it became harder for Icebreaker Inc. and its affiliates to police and market to those outside. So years ago, the corp gave up and left the promenade to rot using leftover construction materials, shipping containers, and good old ingenuity. However, people quickly turned the abandoned space into a sort of a festive area where there are populated by people that are evicted from the hive, maintenance droids, Derek, maintenance droids, androids freed from their work contracts, and electronic eccentric artists who work in medium and subjective matters inappropriate for quiet domestic hive life. All right. Any questions so far? I know I just dumped a bunch of stuff. All right.
I have applied my free AR glasses.
Oh, yes, great.
Protocol.
Yeah. If in your assets,
nice.
You can, yes, you wear those constantly and you get constant ads. I will not make you take the dermal plant.
I have an ad blocker.
That's what you think. Chrome just got rid of uBlock. You think they can't?
Right. Derek coming up with all the props.
The props. He is. All right. So our characters are going to be, you guys are going to play street artists. You guys are going to be, this kind of, the Super Ink Busters is based off of Jet Set Radio, a video game. So you guys are like roller skating street artists is kind of the theme of the game from the 90s. So think of a skating group name that's super 90s. So let's get started. If you have your book opened to page, let's head to page 22 first, if you can. And while we're doing this, I'm going to ask you these questions again near the end, but questions I'm going to ask you about your character are: one, how do you think you came to Grand Cross, being lottery refugee from L4, parents immigrating first time, or something else? Two, do you want to play your characters who identify themselves under certain values? Values being connectivity, equality, individualism, optimism, pride, rationality, and work. These will make sense as we make our characters. And three, how did you get stuck in the hive? For example, parents, X, blind optimism. Maybe you believed in the tech for a little while. Also, don't panic, as the hitchhikers would say. This is a 2d6 system where I'm going to give you a difficulty. You're rolling 2d6, and everything that we're doing is going to give you like a bonus, a +1, +3, or an advantage or a boost to what you're doing. So the system is simple, but the character creation is in depth, and we'll be going through it. All right. So on page 22, you can see we're going to do abilities, then we'll do origins, traits, occupation, talent, specialty, defense, assets, etc. So abilities is the 4 numbers that you're going to define like your character by. You've got cool, clever, tough, and quick on your character sheets. So cool is your charisma, confidence, slick attitude, and your general ability to influence people and not lose your composure. Clever is your logic, intuition, reasoning, and perceptiveness. It's your ability to pick up odd bits of knowledge and come up with solutions to problems quickly. Tough is your physical power, strength, health, and ability to stay on your feet. It's useful for anyone who wants to dish out or take damage. And then quick is your agility, reaction speed, swiftness, and your ability to dodge things and take advantage of small opportunities. Now, you're going to give a +0, a +1, a +2, or a +3 to each of these abilities. And you don't have to commit now. If you put something down and you have a character idea, do it. And then if you're like, oh, actually, I want something different, go back and change them again. Absolutely fine. So we've got origins. So in this sort of character build, we want to pick your origin. Your origin, if you look at page 26, That's where the origins start. Your origin is when you're kind of making your character. It's like, where are they from? What are their pronouns? Who are they? And who do they hang out with? How long have they been at Grand Cross? Like, it's your origins is who do you think you were and where do you think you came from? Again, if you're not sure, just give them a skim and you're like, I think this, but then you're looking at your occupations, you're looking at your traits, and you're like, actually, I think I want to make this. Just go back and change it. It's not going to be a problem. So I kind of I know that Derek talked about journalism a little bit and also androids. The android, it would be considered an origin. You begin play with one augment of your choice, and it does not increase your burden. So if any of you guys take sort of augments with mods, your burden is like how in debt you are in this world. As millennials, we cannot afford housing. We cannot afford day-to-day life very easily. Not a lot's changed, but a lot has changed. Oh, I like that Maitre always thinks I'm funny. I can always tell when Maitre thinks I'm funny.
No, I love it. I love it. Like, only the fucking vibes are different. Everything else is the same.
It's the 2020s. You know what happens. You can be double crossers.
Like a lot more neon. Everything else is the same.
And if you guys have any questions throughout this process, of course, feel free to ask me. Or if you want details about the world, I've read the book. I can give you location, etc., information, and like people that you may have encountered that would get you here, etc. If you're feeling like, oh, maybe I don't want a burden, maybe I want to be a Nepo baby, that's not a bad thing. You can go celebrity. There is also a, where is it? Survivor military lottery winner, rich in years. Jeff, if you want to be an old man again. There's survivor if you think maybe you were part of the disaster, the destruction of the L4 space station, and somehow you survived and made it to L5. You can be a survivor. If you were a cop for a little bit, there is ex-cop, and there is the double crosser, which is a millennial. Which you can, I mean, regardless of what you choose, you're probably going to have a little bit of you might tell I'm leaning towards the millennial angle just a little bit.
No, you don't say.
Unsubtly. I may or may not have changed the group name to Cyberpunk Millennial. But there's no proof of this. No one's gonna do. No, what? I didn't. No proof. No proof.
So, Derek, are you going Android?
I figure I can pick last, so that if someone's got like a particular build they want to go into, I'm fine with just covering wherever we have a gap.
I mean, this is Origins. You guys can absolutely have the same one because it's more, I think, occupation. You'll probably want to. No, you all have to be different, Jeff.
No, because Jeff shook his head. We all have to pick what he wants.
We should do different things.
There's a lot of Origins.
There are a lot of. There's 2 pages of Origins. Yes. Does anybody feel like anything is particularly like singing to you in this moment?
I kind of love is complicated because who I have in mind for her is someone who's a little bit shady.
Oh, nice. All right, yeah. So it's complicated.
Not like philosophically shady, like with gangs and the mafia, like legitimately shady.
So the Terabyte Boys are a pretty big gang on L5 that you might have like swung with for a little bit.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's a ton of.
I mean, she's philosophically shady too. Let's be clear.
Maybe you were a philosophy student and disagree with the prime philosophy, and also you can't get a job because you're a philosophy student, and it's shady jobs that you got. For the audience,
it's complicated. Is the one that I'm leaning towards.
Oh, great. Okay. And so that's going to give you the specialties +1, any action of your choice. And we'll add, so just like put a +1 and then action. And then we can go over actions. They're a little further down. And then you get +1 bullshit. If you guys are uncomfortable with the term bullshit, just use BS, or I'll understand if you say deception or bluffing. It's all the same thing, right? You're just lying to someone. But they use the word that I often use, which is bullshit. And then 1 generic specialty. Again, just put that on your character sheet, and when we get to the specialties area, I'll definitely bring it up again, and you can make sure to add.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anybody else like the idea of anything specific?
I've been looking at either disaster refugee or lottery winner. Did anybody have kind of strong feelings towards either one of those?
I'm terrified of being a lottery winner because it increases your chances of being murdered. So
I'm terrified of being a disaster refugee personally. So
I think I'm going to go lottery winner because that just seems like I don't know what other game I get to say I'm a lottery winner. So
you are a lottery winner. So you got enough. Your country decided to support you and bring you by 1. So you get to reduce your starting burden by 1. Just really quickly, you see the circles on the top right of your character sheet. You can put 0 in cash, 1 in burden, and what's the other one? It is prep is also 0 right now. So it gets confusing, but your starting burden is 0. So if you're a lottery winner, you get to take that 1 and change it to a 0.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. Say that again.
Absolutely no problem.
Cash.
Burden is 1. Cash and prep are 0. So I just brought it up because Melissa would get with lottery winner to reduce it.
Sure.
But everybody else, this is why she's about to get killed. So with lottery winner, you get to choose earth, culture, history, or politics as like one of your +1 specialties. So whichever one you think you'd be best at. And then you actually get to choose a +1 on your profession. That's, again, another sort of specialty that we'll go into a little bit more if you're uncertain, or if you have an idea like philosophy professor. I don't know why that came to me, but
I'm thinking I might go earth culture, which will require me to like have something at the ready so that I can reference earth culture things. We'll see if I remember to do that. So I think I'll go earth culture for a specialty, +1, and then I'll figure out the profession stuff later.
Yeah, not a problem. And Derek or Jeff, anything sings to you yet?
What you thinking, man?
No. I insist. You go first.
I definitely don't want Android. So if that's your first.
No, I was. I think I was stuck between Android and journalist, but then because I started putting crap in my headphones and on top of my headphones, I'm like, this just seems funny. So I kind of am leaning toward Android.
Okay.
Take Android for now. If you change your mind, you can go back and we fine tune as we go. Right? There's a lot of steps to this to consider.
I think I'm actually going to name it D3ReK2 because that just seems too funny. And it's going to be RE : like replying to an email.
Yeah. Oh, Derek, what you're going to have to do, because we're in the 90s / early 2000s, you're going to have to use LEET, L33T, LEET speak.
Hell
yeah. That's my primary language, of course.
Oh man, it's been years. I can still read that stuff, but it's been years since I've used it.
Me too.
I remember that. Jeff, feeling anything?
Okay, I got a couple ideas, and so I'm curious for some feedback. All right, I was thinking corporate drone because I like corporations. They're pretty awesome, and if any of them out there would like to sponsor, go ahead. Emails at adventureslollygagging@gmail.com. So I was thinking corporate drone. That was definitely a possibility. Celebrity. I thought that would be fun. Or gamer. And if I did gamer, I would basically just make long. So I don't know. So like,
I would.
So those are kind of like where I'm at.
I would kind of love you to be long.
I was gonna say
most people.
Yeah, when you say
he's
like
way
that.
chiller than I am. People like him better than me, so I totally understand it. Yeah.
One of the last two for sure. Celebrity or gamer. I think.
Celebrities.
So you're
really...
not feeling corporate drone. Interesting.
I'm not. No.
What about a corporate gamer?
Corporate gamer. I mean, you could get gamer sponsors. But also celebrity, you could totally like play up the TikTok or sorry, it's hold on. There's alternate. your tuber account. You're a your tuber. There's alternate names for everything.
Is it Clock Talk?
It might be Clock Talk. I think TikTok was 2020. I think TikTok was just getting started. I don't think they included it in this book, but we definitely are going to have to come up with like a cyberpunk TikTok name. Click Talk sounds pretty good, but we can workshop that. All right. But Jeff, yeah, it's okay. Celebrity would be fun and gamer would be fun. I think it's up to you beyond that, but I think those two are really good choices, really fun choices.
Okay.
To be fair, under gamer, it does say you can be a fighting game fan, an MMO raider, or a cool and sexy tabletop game developer. That sounds kind of like something that you did.
That breaks my immersion, though, because I don't think that exists. So that's just a little. That fantasy goes a little too far.
Too much fantasy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Adapt quickly to new situations.
It is delightful.
Okay.
I'm gonna go gamer.
Go with gamer. Awesome. And then once you have that, if you guys need to go back and double check your abilities considering your origins, feel free again. But now let's move to page 28 and 29 and look at your first trait. Now, this first trait is when you're considering this is part of your identity. This trait says something about the lessons your life has taught you or the damage it did to you or both. So this is like your time in L5 in the early years, if you will. Like, again, if we're from the Hive and we accidentally dated an NFT bro for a little while or an NFT cis, like how did that affect you? And maybe that altered some of your traits. Or, some of the traits are, hey, I know you. Well, a while ago you were in a viral video. So maybe you were a meme like Charlie Bit Me. That would have been early 2000s. That exists. Maybe you did the evolution of dance meme. Let's see, how many early YouTube memes can I remember? Maybe you were in a Smosh video that sang about Pokemon. Oh dear, this might be telling a bit too much about my past than I want. Yeah, there's let's see here. This also has the like full body prosthetic, where you could be a human brain in a cybernetic body if you don't want to go full android. This is an alternative to that. And there is an example that I read, and I think it is just down to the bottom of 29, where somebody could take full body prosthetic, but in the prosthetic, in the description, it talks about how you are disconnected from your body because it's not human anymore. But people could lean in instead and reverse that. And if it's something that you like, but you just don't like an element of it, we can change it. So instead of someone who feels they're disconnected because their body's an android, maybe they feel more like themselves now that their body's an android. And they actually get sort of, instead of dysphoria, they actually have the reverse and are enjoying being themselves. So if you find something you like, but it's euphoria, thank you, but they don't quite like it, or you don't quite like it, then we can workshop. You're not locked into just the text. This game is big on like fine tuning what they're saying. That being said, there's 2 pages again of examples, so you can definitely hopefully find something. Student loans may be a fun one for people that are in the millennial mindset. No, you don't want more burden. No,
I think that goes with the breaking immersion. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of going in the opposite direction of hush money, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I've already decreased my starting burden already to 0. I don't know if you can go to -1, but.
So here's what you could do. So any sort of cybernetics you take increases your burden by 1. You could take hush money and buy, like, just essentially get a free cybernetic with a mod. Like maybe you get like an arm with a hidden compartment that allows you to do stuff and have things in there or something. We could workshop some sort of bonus or change to you if you want. Maybe
I like that.
Yeah.
And also there's negatives, and I always like kind of throwing some stuff on with negatives. So it always costs me 1 less cash to lower my burden. So that's going to be a positive along the way. But then the negatives is because of whatever secret that I've been bribed to keep quiet about, my movements are covertly tracked. And so I always suffer disadvantage on tasks related to maintaining stealth, staying hidden, or keeping out of sight.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to be that person in the party.
Yes, you are.
You're welcome for the complications.
Yeah, I mean, Big Brother is always watching, especially you. But
Yep.
So if you're taking hush money, while everybody else still reads, you can take a look at, I wasn't going to do this just yet, but because it might give you some time, let's go down. Where is assets, gig work, example, communities. Oh, the police are not. Sirens passed. So if you go to, there we go, it starts on page 79. Let me find here, wearables, programs, drones. Cybernetics are 91. So you can take a skim read on like cybernetics, because anything that you could have an arm, you could have a cybernetic eye, you could have like something in your torso, like you had a heart transplant and your whole torso is like glass and you can kind of see a cybernetic heart beating or something cool like that, right? And then you can look at the page 91 for the tags that you can associate it with that would cost you a burden in character creation, and you would just get it for free because you took hush money.
Nice.
And you can just like skim down here whenever you're not looking at something else. But yeah, so that's, I think, would be really fun. And you can decide what, maybe like you had an accident and your leg got hurt and you just had to replace it, or,
Yeah, so you can basically, some of the tags are like, it can be jailbroken, it can be overclocked, it can be rad. So like
they do use rad.
I feel like that fits the group.
Yeah.
Is that it changes the cosmetic appearance of the augment to look cooler. So clear colored plastic. So my leg is now like one of those like 90s phones with the clear colored plastic, and you just see all of the
see the motherboard,
see
colors and everything inside.
Oh, like the Nintendo 64. Yeah, and this also lets. If you go a little bit further down, there's called the adverts or augverts, which is like you would get the cybernetic for free, but I would get to play commercials from that cybernetic constantly. So you would constantly be spewing jingles, is the only other way to really get a free cybernetic, just FYI. And I'm happy to do that with you guys. If you want constant Geico commercials, I can give that to you.
You know what? I might pass. I'll consider
really?
it.
Oh, I thought it was
such
a good
like
thing.
a hellscape. I'm so anti ads.
Yes.
I can't even.
Oh, I know. I would okay, fair warning. If anybody takes the ad augverts, I will make it a living hell. Yes. It will be constant. Just as a fair warning. So does anybody like the idea of any other traits that you're feeling? You're still reading?
I have one that I think will be funny for what I was wanting to do.
Ooh.
Sorry, I was looking at something else. So I think I'm going to pick the trait for "Hey, I know you." I think I'm going to combine being an android with being a journalist, and I'm going to say that there was a company out there that tried to, because androids are pushed to the fringes, they were like, we're going to have an android news anchor, and it went horribly. And so people saw the viral video or the meme video, and they either love me, never heard of me, or absolutely hate me, and it's a wild card.
Oh, that's great. Yes. And then we can do some rolls to see if they know you or not. I believe that is part of it. Yes, they do. So we get to roll to see if they know you and if they liked you.
Failed android journalist. That's my legacy so far.
Oh, that is great. All right. Jeff or Maitre, if anything kind of stuck out to you, or you're still kind of going through it?
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to go stoic. If I'm building
Ooh.
long, I feel like
Nice.
stoic is pretty
True.
straightforward.
If you're building long is pretty stoic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
nothing else really fits for him. I went through it. I'm like, nothing really. Over prepared. That's definitely not long.
Regular customer
Yeah.
for video game sales?
No, not
No.
really.
All right.
I don't think that fits him. Well traveled, kind of, possibly, but he doesn't really pay that much attention to where he goes. So
Oh no.
like, the label makes sense, but if you
Yeah.
read the description, it just not fit with long at all.
Yeah, okay.
Stoic, though. Stoic,
I think
Stoic is great. Yeah. So
yeah, which is just plus to cool defense, which makes
Yeah.
sense because he's pretty cool.
yeah, so stoic for the audience is a +1 cool defense specialty. When something makes you lose your cool, you have disadvantage on your next roll as a burden. All right, that's super cool. And Maitre, if not, we can come back to it later if you want to keep thinking.
I picked a hard shell, which is +1 top defense, because the more I think about her, the more I think she's like an underground Street Fighter bare knuckle boxer type.
Nice. All right, lovely. So we're leaning into
that's her shadiness.
All right.
It's just her general do not fuck with the white vibes.
Your occupation may have changed from what you're thinking to something else. I might make a suggestion when we get there. There's a few that you could lean into on that one. All right. So if we're okay with our first traits, and again, feel free to go back, change anything that you need to as we go. You now get to choose your occupation. Now, this is something where I think all of you guys should kind of talk together, figure out what you want. But these are, for the audience, the standard sort of cyberpunk occupations you're going to see in your Shadowrun, in your Cyberpunk 2077. This is your fixer, your hacker, your influencer. Okay, maybe that one is unique. Operator, soldier, street fighter, and thief. So your operator would be...
What page did you say?
Oh, I am so sorry. That starts on page
24?
62.
Yeah, 24 is the list.
Right?
Yeah, 24 is just the list of all of them together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So sorry. 61, 62 is where we're going to start for actually what you actually want to read. I'm just to introduce them. The fixer is like your fence, your mediator. People come to you for problems and you solve them. And your hacker is shocking, infiltrating networks and making them do your building. You have an ability called ghosting that is possible as a hacker. It's not ghosting the way that we understand it. It actually, because I had to double check and reread this, because I'm like, why do they keep referencing ghosting? It's where you actually manage to leave no trace when you're hacking, just as an FYI for the people. Influencer, you know how to make friends and sway people. So if you want to be a journalist, maybe influencer with a meme. Operator, you handle drones and vehicles for maximum effect. So that will be if you want like a drone skateboard to fly on instead of roller skates, then you would want to be an operator. Soldier, you're tactical, you're a tactician who fights for a cause or protects others. Now, my trait, the soldier and street fighter over the thief is what I was thinking, because soldier, you're fighting to protect others, or street fighter, if you're leaning towards the bare knuckle fighting, you're an expert in martial arts and close quarter combat.
Street fighter is what I was leaning towards.
Okay. And then thief, you're an expert in security, stealth, and the inevitable gateway, which I don't think Melissa can take, with also having a disadvantage on everything that is to do with that. But you guys should definitely talk it out. And then just as an FYI, we're starting at level 1 in your occupation, which means you get 1 specialty, 1 generic specialty, 1 talent. And then you get to choose your first occupation from the occupation box. So there's a box on those character sheets where you're like, do you want a license or a trendy wardrobe? And you get to kind of like choose some equipment. Now, they keep saying specialties, generic specialties, and talents. So talents are in these sort of pages, the 62 onward pages. You've got your specialty talents, which will be attached, like the fixer ones are on the fixer pages. And then the generic talents are just a little further down. And they start on page, there it is, 76, and you can take you can start with a generic talent or a specialty talent. So you're able to pick and choose on those ones. Then you're probably okay. So, and then annoyingly, the specialties are up on page 30. I just double checked my notes what page those were on. So you're going to have to jump a little bit between the pages 61, 76, and 30 while building your characters. So just for the audience while everybody reads, specialties that they're going through are things like they can choose a specialty that is specific to their characters, and they're allowed to like choose them more than once. So they choose, for example, defense cool, and Jeff has defense cool as part of his trait, his first trait, then he would be able to take defense cool a second time as a trait, and instead of a +1, it would give him a +2 on the roll. So that's how they kind of like boost it up. It caps at a +3. But then you have your generic specialties, which is where you get like fighting and movie films, which Jeff definitely cannot take as long. But there is games. This is where they had the ghosting, and it's like, what was ghosting? It's in the generic specialties. Graffiti. We are supposed to be street artists. There's streaming. There is comic artist. HeoCities is referenced here and there for anybody. HeoCities, from my understanding, is GeoCities, and we've called it HeoCities in cyberpunk world. There's a little bit of deciphering going on every now and again. The Earth politics, if Melissa wanted to take another one, that would go to a +2 from a +1. You can take motorcycles, Maitre. There's motorcycles in there. And the therapist, VTuber. Also, because we have the L5 book, if you happen to have that open, just to add more complications to it, if you're on the L5 book and you go to page 70, there's some additional origins, traits. There's an alternative Android, origin in the L5 book, Derek. And then there's some additional traits, and I have made lists of those on our VTT just to say which one is where, but just to give you more, more to read.
So it sounds like Maitre was going Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. Derek and Jeff, were you guys occupation?
I have a couple different options, so I can go a lot of different directions. Do either of you have like one or two in particular that you like?
I was thinking either influencer or hacker to line up with either the failed journalist or just being an android.
What about you, Melissa?
I was thinking possibly actually to kind of I know you had said no on this earlier, but possibly thief in like
a bad thief.
Almost outweighing the negative. So like having the skills to overcome the negative of the other stuff. Or possibly fixer, but I'm kind of open.
I mean, if you want, I like that idea where you're a thief that you've essentially been, that there's eyes on you, and you kind of learn to slink off and get away from it whenever you can. That's, I think, a great sort of character arc.
Are there limitations to how many talents you get from your occupation, or do you just get like all of them?
You don't get all of them. At level 1, you get 1 talent, and then you're going to get, every session we do, you're going to get 1 or 2 XP. 1 XP if I forget and give it to you the next time. 2 XP if someone remembers to remind me at the end of session to give you XP. Bargain. And every 3 XP, you're gaining a level. So your guys are going to level up really fast. And there's a huge ramp in terms of like how strong you're going to get. You guys are going to be very powerful soon, but you start with 1 talent. And
start with 1 talent.
Yes. If you look at page 61, they have a nice little table of the benefits. where they're one specialty, one generic specialty, one talent. And then you're getting that every single level, every 3 XP. I'm mostly joking. Sometimes you are just going to get 1 XP in a session because you are going to level very quickly, and then you go up to 10. You can, of course, multi-class. So you can take, Dougie. You can take Fixer now, and then you can take Influencer on your second one, and you can actually very easily multi-class and get talents for both of them.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. No problem. It is Majub. I know there's a lot of reading to do. And don't forget to add your equipment and your sort of additional stuff that they're going to give you for choosing that talent as a first occupation.
So if I go thief as my occupation, does that mess anything up for anybody? All right,
No.
I'm locked into thief then. Gonna do.
Excellent. Fake ID or a weapon?
Fake ID, definitely fake ID.
Yeah, fake ID.
For sure.
Safe house or thieving gear?
Oh, that's a hard one. Like I want to go with the benefit of the group and say safe house. Because if I can get us all a safe house, then that would probably be me doing a solid for all of the negatives that I'm going to give on disadvantage for all the rest of the things. But I've got our safe house.
But you have our safe house. Okay. If you like the safe house, if you look at page 71 on the L5, those are the location assets, and you can just choose one of those assets as your safe house, and I'll just give that to you. And they're specific to the Hive setting. They're specific to the L5 setting.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you choose that instead of, feel free to go to thieving gear. But you can definitely just grab one. And then you get to choose another specialty and another talent.
I'm definitely going to go +1 to 1 stealth action because that was the whole point of me going thief was to. So I'll have disadvantage, but a +1.
Very good. All right. I mean, you're going to probably be able to boost your way out of this. It'll be great. This is really good. And then you can choose a talent as well from that list. Derek or Jeff, or Maitre, are you locked in on Street Fighter pretty much? Yeah. Okay. Jeff or Derek, do you have anything you like the look of so far?
You said hacker or influencer you're doing, right, Derek?
Yeah, I was looking between them right now.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'll go operator, I think.
Ooh. All right. We're going to have someone with drones.
You wouldn't let me be a corporate drone, so I had to get drones in there somehow.
Yes. So you get...
Mine are going to be brought to you by Amazon. You can see.
I don't know if you realize, but you get to be the one that gets to repair Derek as an operator.
Gets to?
Yes. Yeah, it's a privilege.
If you could pay for it. We'll see.
If you could pay for it.
Gig economy. You got to do what you got to do.
I mean, it is a gig economy. We haven't gotten there yet. But yes, there's 100% gig economy in this. We're going to be rolling to see if there's an economic shock, which causes issues to everybody but Melissa, who has zero burden. You're also
chose wisely.
Yes, you are. You're allowed to be roommates to reduce the economic shock. Melissa, if you get a roommate, it's going to give you a burden, by the way.
Oh.
Because it's split between the parties.
I see. I mean, I have a safe house. So
you do.
There's that.
Do you live there constantly? But yes, yeah. All right, Jeff, if you're looking at operator, do you think you want a drone asset or a personal drone?
So I do get a drone. So
yes.
That's just something I get. The choice is if I want another tag or an asset that can be fit into the drone. I need to read more of the drone tags to see if anything pop out.
Yeah.
I am, however, going to take as specialty +1 cool defense. So now I have +2 cool defense, which I feel like again.
Ooh.
Oh man, very good.
Definitely did.
And Derek, you can take one this time. Like if you take influencer this time, then
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Get hacking as like your level 2
okay.
And then just
I was leaning more toward influencer.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it makes sense with what you've built so far. I assume a doggo or a trendy wardrobe. I assume doggo. Doggo is dog. So, it's Australia. It was right. Saying you want a dog. Are you seriously not going to take a dog?
Well, I haven't read what it imposes on me. Like,
it's a dog. Does it matter? How dare you?
I have one whining right now because she wants to go for a walk, but I'm like in the middle of something.
Maybe there's a bird. Oh, dude, I can get a flying drone if we're gonna be best friends. Because if I'm gonna be constantly if I'm gonna be elbow deep in your gears, I'm gonna have a drone, and one of the tags I can get flight, so I can be like a little bird drone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh, there you go.
That would be really cool.
Birds aren't real anyway.
In Hardwired Island they have animals. They are all like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, fake animals. I can do so many science fiction references throughout this entire character creation. This is like the 10th one I've dropped so far. All right, so if we are locked in on our occupation, then you guys, I guess, are deciding on your talents. And then if you need me to go through where specialties are again, because it is jumping around, you can always jump back to page sort of 24. Will give you the location pages of where everything is. But 30 is the generic tags, and I would recommend looking through those as you're going. And then otherwise, you've got your talents. And then 71 is your generic talents. Let me double check. Sorry, not 71. Generic talent 76. I was close. I was guessing. Yes. And then great thing to tell you. Once you've finished your talents and your specialties for your occupation, you then get to pick another trait, but it's the same list. It's the same list of traits as the ones we chose the first time. So we are jumping back again to page 28, and we're choosing a second trait. Again, the L5 book has another 7 traits on page 70 that you can also consider if you need something else for long that isn't on that list. They do have mobile battle station, Jeff, that might be interesting with your character build so far.
I know. I'm torn between that and compelling aura because I feel like that is strange. But at the same time, I'm really leveraging and leaning into cool a lot. And
you are.
So I really don't have anything else I'm good at. I'm just good at being cool.
I mean,
so I feel like I'm nailing this, guys.
If you were ever going to describe Long, like that's kind
so
of
cool.
I feel like I've known her for a long time. I feel like
it's very cool. Like unquestionably the cool person.
Like you just want to punch him in the face every now and then because it's just like this is unfair that you go through life without any care in the world.
Okay,
Jeff, have you looked through the specialties? The example generic specialties page?
On page 30.
Sorry, the generic one.
31.
30, yep.
Oh, God.
I do studied the blade. That was my personal favorite, but I didn't pick it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to draw. That's exactly what I was thinking, because anime is one of the example generic specialties.
We are living in Cowboy Bebop.
Esports.
Esports. Yeah.
And that's easier for me because I can pull from esports easier and faster.
There you go.
Not fair enough.
K-pop though.
You could do K-pop. Yeah. There's I've given a list of some of the bands in the sort of one of the character reference. Oh, I think it's the Hive reference that I made. But so if you want band names that you can fan over, we can make them K-pop groups. Trey and Melissa, you guys kind of had an idea for your occupation first. Did you guys figure out which did you take a generic talent or a specialty talent, and which one did you kind of like the look of for your occupation?
I haven't really landed on anything yet.
No worries. All right.
So I knew I was trying to offset some things. So I grabbed the thief talent of getaway.
Oh, okay.
Which is when you try to escape a scene or use runaway to flee from a fight, you have advantage on your roll.
That's actually going to be really useful for you guys.
Exactly the thing that you were like, no, you're not going to have the thing. And I'm like, no, don't tell me I can't have it.
That's fair.
I'm actually going to make
you
it.
You are. You've totally made it.
So.
My bad. You've totally turned it around. I'm totally rooting for your character already. But yeah, so all right. So yeah, page 61 for all the classes, 30 for the generic specialties, and then again 70 for in the L5 book for the additional ones. Derek, did you in 70? Did you see the Android online as well option? Just in case.
I mean, I read it, but I already forgot what I read. Something about it's physically active or whatever.
So yeah, you like the other one better. It sounds like if it didn't stick, that's all good. But yes, it's you get kind of your prep use is a little bit different with it, I believe, is the main thing. All right, and then once you guys are happy or feel like you can move on, again, the traits are on 28, and you can pull a second one. Maybe student loans this time.
Maybe I just missed this with all this jumping around that I'm having to do. I wish I had 6 monitors.
Yeah, I have 3. It's great right now just for this.
I've got 3, but
yeah,
they're all filled up with 2 windows, and I'm jumping around to so many pages. So is the generic also like what's the difference between like specialty specialty traits versus generic ones? Did I miss a second list? Because on 70 that's just specifically for one job or occupation.
I just dropped something in the chat just to help with the pages issue, but essentially, so you're an influencer. So you've got all the talents and under there. And then if you go to 76, you're going to see the generic talents, and you can also pick from those ones as one of your talents or at any point in time. And the generic talents are things like basement dweller, take +1 to all rolls that involve accessing the station basement, which is sort of like the sort of not yet constructed part of the space station, and a lot of things and criminals live down there, and then you'd get to know that as well. Android, which is an Android only talent, is under the generic talents. You consider a community leader for your contributions to Android culture with your meme.
Okay, so then that list that's on maybe I'm just hyper fixated on this, but the list that's on 31, is this just like random stuff that they put together, but isn't actually, because like I guess I'm just confused why under Android it says specialties +1 any and then any generic, and I'm like, sorry, any your choice and
I'm
any
giving
generic.
you talents. You're right. I'm giving you talents. Okay, so sorry. The specialties is page 30 and the generic is 31. And the specialties, it's a little bit harder to decipher, but essentially it's you see there's the defense, purple text, the initiative, the actions, the cybernetic augmentation, the generic specialties, and the assets. You essentially get to specialize in something that's more useful to your role, where the generic specialties are anime, chess.
Gotcha.
Versus the specialties are cool defense that Jeff had. That's the kind of like the difference is it applies to a significant number of things with the specialties.
Gotcha. Okay, so I just missed the purple text on 30.
Yeah, no, it didn't jump out. I had to reread that section a few times. I totally get you. It's I should have specified a little bit better. I skimmed that the first time and I was very confused too. But yes. And then the cybernetic augments, this would be where it would increase Melissa's burden to have some sort of cybernetics, but because of her amount of vast wealth and privilege, she doesn't need to worry about it. But she could specialty on her like cybernetic arm so she had a better roll on it as well, if she wanted. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So we pick up, I think 3 at this. You can pick up 3 specialties.
Yes.
So I picked up a +1 quick defense because I think you can do a +1 to any defense. So I did a +1 to quick defense. And then I picked up a particular specialty in rollerblading because there was one for skateboarding. So why not? And then I picked up the specialty of gray market goods.
Ooh. Excellent. I like that. Yes, Jeff, you in the back.
So you said pick 3, but it's 3 generic specialties. And the generic specialties don't have mechanical, like the first thing you said, you took like a plus to something.
Yes.
But the generic specialties, I don't think do that.
No, it'd be, sorry, I was trying to simplify it quickly, but you are correct. It would be things like bicycles. I think it just gives you, hold on, let me make sure I'm not saying this right. And then
there's no like, so on page 30, there's no like mechanical help, like or heft, I should say, but it's just like it gives you an edge. Like there's not like it's not like a +1 like some of the other things do. Like it's just sort of like more, I think it's more narrative.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for catching that. So I'll just say I have a generic specialty in stealth.
Okay. Fair enough. That is a perfect option for you. Okay. So you don't want to study the blade, Melissa?
We can create our own, right? These are just like examples.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Especially since you guys know that you're like essentially street artists. If you think of something that would apply to that better than, or you feel like your character, you want to lean into something that isn't there. Yes. And then you can actually do that thing kind of. Let me see here. So yeah, the one writing down all specialties you gain from your trade's occupation, you can choose 3 additional generic specialties. Remember, you can choose specialties multiple times. Increase. I believe it does still give you, I'm going to have to double check. I thought it did give you a +1 for having a specialty if you're doing that action. Like if you're rollerblading and you have the rollerblading generic, I was assuming it was a +1, but I'll double check the rules on that.
I think it might just be the specific thing that I pulled from, it was not labeled generic specialties. Right. It was labeled something else. So I think you're both right in the sense that like there may be a benefit to it, but it can't be like a defense specialty because that's like, not generic. Mm-hmm.
You're rollerblading away from an enemy. You're using your quick defense and your rollerblades. Then I would give you both.
Right. Yeah. So I was going into a defense specialty area that's not that part of the character creation because that's generic specialties.
I will quickly add, I believe it's in here as well. When you're applying specialties or rule, you can only apply one specialty type and one specialty and one generic. I believe you can't do 2 specialties, like just as an FYI. I think that's somewhere in here. I'll get the rules to you. I think it's in one of my tables, but I didn't double check that because we were just doing character creation right now. Whoops.
No worries.
All right. Anybody have any other questions or feel like they're good? Because the next section that we are going to do is essentially just buying your assets. After you're done getting your generic specialties down, you get to choose 2 assets. I would ask all of you guys to have one of your assets be rollerblades. You do also get for free a set of AR glasses that you will mostly have to wear unless you manage to get them off somehow most of the time. But the one asset I would ask you to spend on is rollerblades because you are jet set radio rollerblading street artists. And it's gonna be awkward if you don't have the means to do this. You are going into painting competitions in a second here, aka next week.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got rollerblades and AR glasses are required. And then I already had a fake ID from my occupation and a safe house from my occupation. So now I get to pick one more asset?
Yes. One free asset. anything on the list.
Look
if you
those
need
over.
to alter it, like with the skateboard, you're essentially what I'm saying, asking you to take rollerblading. What I'm asking you to is to take skateboarding and switch it to rollerblades. I should specify.
Got it. Okay.
And it mechanically will be that. I think they use that as the reference under skateboard. Yeah, skateboard is 83. So you're just change it from skateboard to roller skates. But yeah, anything else in there? You can grab the thieving gear as your second asset if you wanted, Melissa.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking here. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a badass headband.
There is a badass headband.
Gives you +1 to cool defense while wearing it.
You want to go like full
feels
Eye of the Tiger?
Early 90s to go like headband. Later in the clubhouse, we'll see what other things I look at and see if anything else be a little bit different.
Now, unfortunately, I will add, there's only one character out of the four of you who can actually get the badass headbands. If you read in that the cost section, it says priceless. They must be earned. Rad. Street Fighter only.
I like to imagine the badass headband has the 90s phrase "talk to the hand."
Talk to the hand.
Yeah. But yeah, ignore the cost for now. You guys are going to get cash for doing missions, but during character creation, you guys can grab what you want that you feel suits your character. Ignore the cost. Are
we allowed to take a location as our asset?
Yes. So that is where Melissa has the safe house. There is also location assets on page 71, and I believe she's going to take one as well. You guys can have more than one if you want
I have a
gym. Okay.
My generic specialties. I took anime as the default one for occupation, but then I took esports, rhythm games, and rock climbing.
Okay.
And then I have one of my assets is a gym.
Very nice.
Do you should we specify?
The funny thing is,
rock climbing
like
gym?
next week, I'm not going to be here. I'm just going to make Long play for me.
Doesn't role play. He just has to show up.
I was going to say, Long, just show up. I don't want to do anything. Just be yourself.
Oh,
done.
I just looked over at. Jeff is going to be.
Look how stoic he is with
We
those three.
very much love you, Long. If that wasn't clear.
It's the greatest form of flattery is to mimic somebody, right?
Yeah. Imitation or whatever.
Imitation. That's right. Oh dear. But so for the audience, the players can have assets from page 79 onwards. They've got a bunch of usable equipment like 3D printers, a doggo, which Derek should have taken, drone gun if we wanted like a counter to anybody else's drones flying around. I know somebody got Melissa got fake ID with her character creation. First aid kit, if anybody thinks they might get hurt.
I got one through my Street Fighter.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Mobility aid, recreational drugs. You want some drugs? We got them. We got some drugs.
You know what? I'm kind of torn between drugs and workshop.
I mean, it sounds like that's the kind of workshop that you have, and so
exactly right. I think I'm gonna go with drugs.
Just as an FYI with vehicles, you guys, we're not living in the US. There's trains and buses and public transportation everywhere, so you can rollerblade.
The impression that the US doesn't have public transportation.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Have you ever been to New York? Have you ever?
No, one city, other than one city.
So
I know.
I'll have you know, I cut a
I
cut a bus off this morning to refill my water jugs.
There's public transportation everywhere. Not all of it's good public transportation.
If
but
anything, the internet has told me it is that the US is cars only and no public transportation.
And the internet is other than New York.
As the New York is all bad.
Like beating a dead horse or kicking a horse when it's down. I don't know, what's the phrase?
Beating a dead horse is right. Anyway,
I'm gonna do some kind of melee weapon. I just haven't figured out what I'm gonna do.
Sure.
With it yet?
Yeah, you can change it to like a bat or a plank of wood with a nail in it, or
something small. I would say.
Oh, okay.
And I'm probably going to work it in with my cyber leg.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
So I have this like clear plastic, like it looks like it's part of my leg, but in fact, when I pull it out, it's some kind of
clear
pointed sharp weapon.
Where is it? So the locations, there is something: drone tags, systems, weapons.
So melee weapon is on page
pepper
89.
spray. There is pepper spray if you want as well.
I saw the pepper spray. I've done pepper spray before, so I didn't want to do pepper spray again. So I think I may have also done a weapon that was hidden in a cybernetic, though. So I want to
but yeah,
about that.
Absolutely.
The sticky shocker looked fun.
Yes, sticky shocker.
It fires stun projectiles.
I will say the normal melee weapons are easy enough to get. If anybody wants a proper gun, it's going to be much harder to get. Just as a restriction, it is something that is very illegal on L5, so it is much harder to have them without a license. So if you do get a gun, you also need to have some sort of license asset. Just as
a smoke grenade.
Smoke grenade.
Smoke grenade.
Yep, I'm happy with the smoke grenade. You can probably grab one of those.
I'll do smoke grenade.
Yeah,
that works.
Melee weapon, I was going to say melee weapon's fine because you can have had something, but just I'm cutting off guns early.
Yep, no worries. Smoke grenade it is.
Unless you have a really good reason for your character to have it. Okay, I guess you guys, nobody has any hacking, so we don't need to worry about the programs. You guys can just skip that. And then, yeah, if you feel like something you want isn't here, then we can totally workshop it and make it a thing for you. Again, the game kind of wants you to do that by being a bit vague about the description. Do any of you guys have any other questions about assets or assets that you kind of like the look of but want to change? No? All right, we're all good. Again, just reach out anytime in the next week if you change your mind and want to double check something. But yeah, that is most of our character sheets actually done once we have this. Then you have the option of taking a burden to have an augmentation with some tags. If it's just a mobility thing, you just get that. I'm just going to say, yeah, if you want it as an aesthetic, just take it. If it's a thing that actually does something like a robotic arm that gives you the additional strength, that is going to cost you 1 burden to take it after you've done your assets. So adding those tags is kind of what's going to increase the burden by 1 for anybody that wants it. And while we're doing burdens, you guys are going to roll at certain points in this game for economic shock. Most of the time it's a 13 that you need to roll 2d6 plus your burden. And if you get a 13, you go there's an economic shock event and things go real bad and maybe you lose rent. If you have a burden greater than 1, you're trying to reduce it. It's a divide by 1 to a minimum of 1 burden if you aren't 2 people with 0 living together. So Melissa's probably just going to want her own apartment, but everybody else, it's a divide in half. So if somebody has a 2 burden and somebody has a 1 burden, you would bring it down to 1 burden because it's a shared burden. And that's what you're rolling for your economic shock. And then you can also do gig work to get money. But the downside of doing gig work with gig apps, like they don't have Uber, but they have a maid service app if you want to be a maid. And some example would be like for the advantage, you get 1 cash every single session, which you then lose at the end of the session. But like when you're rolling for economic shock, because you're buying all your maid outfit stuff, it lowers that 13 to a 12 kind of thing. So there are some gig apps to getting money and other things that you might want. But I'm mostly just talking to give you guys details while you read.
Derek, do you want to be roommates since you and Long were roommates for a while?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Okay, sweet.
And also,
hope you don't mind
this
having
came
a
together
that's
so
great.
well. It's ridiculous.
It was a great template to work from.
It was.
It made character creation.
Has Long said
so
anything else in chat? No.
No, he's Long. He's not going to say anything. Kid.
Oh, Outlaw Star is a great anime as well. I don't know if you're referring to the anime or something else, but it is also an anime, and I have watched some of that.
Both Jeff and fake Long can attest to that Long being wonderful.
Fake Jeff.
So I need to go back and figure out abilities score.
Yes.
Now that I've kind of put the character.
Yeah, now that you have your character, so one ability will be a +3, and then it just goes +2, +1, and a +0. So you just kind of balance those abilities out to
feeling
represent.
Best quick, next best clever.
Okay.
Seems like it would fit with a thiefy character.
Yeah, I think it would work really well.
So maybe quick, clever, cool, and tough.
Yeah, that's a classic thief build right there, if I've ever seen one. So does anybody else other than Melissa think they might take some augments? Derek, did you want to add like tags to your stuff for burden increase?
Since I get 1 augment and it doesn't increase my burden, I'm gonna have restricted eyes. So like I can do like all of my shit posting and web surfing. Like I see it just in my eyes.
That's pretty cool. And then glasses like attached to the front of your face with ads that you're just able to block and ignore with your eyes. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you're doing.
I found ad block.
You found ad block. Jeff or Melissa, Melissa, you already taken it. Jeff or Maitre, are you guys going to increase your burden from 1 to make a little more cyberpunky? No,
I need to save that to have a place to live.
Oh, fair enough. Yes.
Speaking of which, my burden score 0 because I'm an android, so I have zeros across the board?
You would have a burden of 1.
Oh, okay.
No. The corporations, probably, let's say, when you were the news android and you did that thing, they may have cut your contract, but they probably left you in debt in some way, and you need repairs and you need oil to live. Jeff is probably keeping you alive as the side project.
Nice.
Because he's an operator.
We're buddies.
Yeah.
A smooth one too.
Maitre, did you want any cybernetics, or if you change your mind, we can always reverse that.
Not at this stage, thanks.
Not at this stage, thanks. All right, no problem. And then yes, so everybody starts with a burden of 1, even if they're an android, and or they have Melissa's luck with choosing everything and reducing it back down. Now, if you want, there is the option of let me just double check here. I think they do have, if you guys go to page 324, when you're not doing anything else, there is a small section on character advancements and then personal goals. We're kind of, if you would like to have a personal goal that kind of outlines things that you can do in examples where they are trying to remain focused on as a means of getting milestones. But again, I'm just going to give you it because it's the way they're giving you XP is through milestones, and the milestones is personal goals / you did something that affects somebody's life. So that's why we're just going to give you 1 or 2 XP every session. Because that's kind of what the game expects while you're advancing. But they do, I just wanted to touch on it because they do talk about it on page 25 if you're reading that as a thing to do. I just wouldn't worry about it. So if you are looking at your character sheet, you can also see you should have some defensive sections. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh, yeah, no, defense is right on the right side of your cool, clever, tough, and quick. You can do a quick calculation for that. It is 7 plus ability plus any other bonuses that you have. So Jeff has like +2 cool defense with certain abilities. So it's going to be 7 plus his whatever he chose for cool.
3, of course.
Okay, so 7 plus 3 for, and then plus what other abilities? So another 2. So he has a 12 cool defense probably. Which would be the calculation for that. And then if you want to consider your character doing gig work is, I didn't say this before, page 56, 57. And it's going to be kind of an outline of what apps it would give you cash. But again, you're kind of, you're not doing the worst in this society. So you might not need it, but it would give you cash if you wanted to buy more things outside of character creation. There is Head Patter, which is the maid service app. Hunter, if you want, I think this one was inspired by Supernatural, or maybe this was Bubblegum Crisis. And then there's Roof Dasher, which is, it's Uber, or a courier app, essentially. And then there's another one in L5 called VTuber. So you could be, Derek, your gig app could be VTuber if you wanted. And those things you can just take. Yes. It's on page 72 of the L5 book if you want to read about the gig app. You can see that it'll give you some bonuses, but it looks like the consequences are things like stalkers. So, comes and goes.
Luckily, my talent is DDoSing, so if I have a stalker, I'll just DDoS them.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let me see here. So now that we've kind of gone through a lot of our characters, let's kind of go back to those questions that I was asking you about near the beginning. Melissa, how do you think your character came to Grand Cross? Oh, you said lottery. So
I picked that for my origin. Mm-hmm. So lottery winner kind of answers that question.
And do you have an idea of how old you would have been when you came to L5?
I'm gonna say that's a really good question.
Yeah, I can come back if you want to think about it for a little bit.
Because I'm trying to see kind of within the realm of the group, like maybe a little bit older. Like okay. I'm thinking that maybe, and obviously it was either kid or teen, so it wasn't too far afield.
Yeah, but
maybe a little bit older in the sense that like some kids got to grow up here, and so like because I've got to figure out how she landed into the whole hush money thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm thinking maybe if she was a little kind of fish out of water, that kind of led her down this path of this hush money kind of thing.
Got taken advantage of.
Or it could be completely other direction where she was too young and naive to know where not to go.
There are some places in L5 that you are not supposed to go for sure.
So I'm kind of still figuring that out.
No problem. I'm asking more for you to start sort of the grease is flowing in consideration. In what you think. Maitre, do you have an idea for when and how you came to a Grand Cross?
You said Terabyte was like
the
name of one of the gangs.
It is the Terabyte Boys.
Terabyte Boys.
Yeah. Okay. Terabyte Boys. We're not running it, but if you go to page 352, it's one of the setups for one of the optional campaigns. And
sweet.
they talk about the Terabyte Boys, and you can actually read about it if you choose. But yeah, you could have been a Terabyte Boy, and you would have been working with Lee Jr., Maru, Mira, and Xander, maybe.
Nice.
Or
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
X.
So I think she showed up because they had a fight she needed to be part of, and then she just kind of stuck around.
Okay. Okay. And then you're just as an FYI with the Terabyte Boys, the IM-X Corporation has government contracts that work with the Terabyte Boys. So, there's some shady shit there.
Ooh.
Yeah. Derek, how do you think your character came to Grand Cross?
I think I had my first boot cycle happen in 2019, and I was just told by my corporate overlords that I'm going to be a news anchor.
Oh no, you
type.
just turned on and
And
put in front of
then-
camera.
Yeah, and they were like, if you fail at this, we're going to turn you into a TI-82. So I'm on the run from that since I did well for a little while, like a month or two. But, as you know, when you introduce AI to the internet, suddenly it starts just talking about like the shit posting side of things. And I became a shit poster.
Oh, no, that's great. That is hilarious. Jeff, do you have an idea of how you came to Grand Cross?
Yeah. I came with my parents. I think they just kind of came here.
Builders?
Probably. Yeah, they just kind of came here, and I just came with them. I was probably really young.
Yeah.
Maybe I was even born here.
Oh, wow, yeah.
One of the two. Doesn't really matter. But yeah. So it's cool.
Thanks, Lon.
Just something distressingly normal.
I'm going to need you to stay up until 5 in the morning and then sleep until 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to talk about values. Real quick, if you guys go to page 111, there are a bunch of values. So this is flavor. Like if you want your character to have a belief system instead of personal goals, I actually like the concept of their value systems a lot better because they're a lot more interesting to me. They have things like the connectivity, which is in the distant future of 2020, everything is connected. So it's the belief of everything being connected, which is a really optimistic belief system. And they also have their own version of Scientology, which isn't here, but it is called it's like their own version of Scientology if you want to go on the dark side, the alternative side of belief systems. But there's like optimism as a belief system, work as a really belief system, rationalism, pride. So if you guys want to think about your values, this is what I'm talking about. And I just liked the idea of them better than personal goals. But yeah, so that's page 111. You can consider it throughout the week if you would like to choose those. And then...
So these are our sort of as a group, we pick a couple of these values.
Oh, that's a good question. So I was thinking individually, but if you think this is part of the reason that brought you guys together as a group, because you know each other, you met in the hive for some reason, and you've decided that you can work together to make art. And maybe it's because you have a similar value system. So we can talk about that sort of in Slack to figure out, but that's just me introducing the values that are presented in this game that I liked, just as a concept. And then
definitely not work, like just to throw that out there, like that's clearly not going to be.
Yeah.
Can we make our own values?
Absolutely.
I know they're listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick Serenity.
Yeah. After Firefly.
It's pretty chill. Or just chill. No.
Just chill.
Just chill.
Oh, I see. Just Serenity. I do like that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You can just have Serenity as your value system instead of anything else.
Awesome. Cool.
And then, okay, Jeff, if you're feeling serene, how did Long get sucked into this hive culture, this forever shopping mall / NFT crypto boy / girl haven?
You want to just hang out at home all day? I'd do something.
Okay. Yeah. Just kind of wandered in, got a job, accidentally signed on the dotted line, and then discovered kind of that it wasn't for him and is trying to get out, maybe? Or
I don't think he even I don't know. I don't think he even got a job or signed on the dotted line. I just think he just showed up because why not?
All right. Very good.
Whatever.
Melissa, do you have an idea of maybe how you got suckered into the hive?
I would say she has got some idea of a long con to get out of this like hush money oversight thing that she's got hanging over her head. Like she's definitely trying to get free of that.
All right. And maybe like, working some of the crypto boys into paying for things for you. All right. Derek, do you have an idea of what brought you to the hive?
Because I don't really understand humanity from an experience standpoint. I think that just wanting to have, I think that humans by their creation or inception are like free and don't have any like burdens or any strings, and so those corporate ties that keep me burdened, I just want to be truly free and have my individuality like the humans do. Yeah. The classic Android wish, right?
I have a bit of a follow-up question that detracts from your I just want to be free, cool, etc. This place is known for sort of primarily variety and quiz shows. Do you think you got addicted to television while here?
I don't know how I could. I feel like I could just download all the episodes without watching them. So it's just more of like a database. Yeah, it's just plug in once a week. It's like, okay, I know what happened in all the shows.
Okay. Maitre, why do you think a Street Fighter ended up in the hive?
So I was thinking more along the lines of the recreational drugs.
Okay, yeah.
I think she's pretty hedonistic.
Yeah.
And just lives paycheck to paycheck. So she's part of the hive because Long doesn't give a shit. She can't afford not to give a shit.
Yeah. All right. I feel like this crew probably either got kicked out of after a while or just ended up there, not in the hive itself, the towers, these honeycomb towers themselves, but the promenade, the sort of the eclectic, junk-filled promenade around the hive where you get more of the people just creating and living. I think perhaps you guys are actually on the outside right now, but still part of the corporation. Like if you try to leave the zone, they're still gonna, slap wrist straps on you that make you wear holographic hive t-shirts. So you have to come back to get them off. But I think probably you're more promenades.
That makes sense. It's easier to get lost in a crowd.
Yes. So. Yeah. I think that would make more sense, and that will help me sort of do some setup. Okay, then that is our kind of our characters. Now, I know that you guys really like to do these, so I wanted to ask, would you like to do some character defining relationship questions? I found a generic table. I'm seeing some yes. Yeah, we want some generic quick. We have like a little 10 minutes of relationship questions.
Love it.
All right.
Yeah, love it.
So there's 34 of them. So we'll go through. Can you guys just type /R1D34 and give me a number, and I will give you a question, or give me a number and I'll give you a question. Whichever one you'd like.
24
18 for me.
Okay, I'll do 24 first. I was going to say Jeff, but I guess Long knows incriminating details. Oh, sorry. Somebody knows incriminating details about you. What details are you? So who do you think knows incriminating details, and what do you think they know?
Okay. So you can just call me Zeno.
Zeno? Okay.
Zeno. That's what I go by. Founder, in some ways of Stoicism. So I just feel like Longpie doesn't realize what stoicism is, but he basically embodies it. So like I'm just gonna, and he is stoic. So Zeno is what I'm gonna go by.
Okay.
So I don't want to just tie everything to Derek because I feel like that's too easy of an answer. So I'm gonna say Maitre, since she is technically a criminal. So she would probably be the one that is most likely. And since I have I am a professional gamer, so she might know that I cheated a little bit here and there.
Oh, cheating scandal. Oh, all right.
I mean, I wouldn't call it scandal.
Oh,
I just did it. Who cares?
She is so into you even more now that you
Everyone does.
cheated.
All right. And Maitre, you said 18? Oh, sorry, Jeff.
Whatever.
All right, sorry.
No, I was just saying whatever. No big deal.
Okay. Oh, fair enough.
It's not.
All right. So Maitre.
It was like 3 months ago. Who cares?
Maitre, you saw somebody somebody saw you absolutely lose it and go berserk once, which actually makes sense because you're a Street Fighter. What happened? Who saw you and what happened? Like, what made you go berserk?
I think I said she was pretty hedonistic already.
You did?
So I think Derek's android saw me really that trying to understand humans bit, and basically what happened is she went to a bar and got a drink thrown in her face by some woman.
Some Karen.
And and she lost her shit because she didn't realize that this woman had a twin.
Oh no.
So things went really sideways really fast. And she lost her shit.
Oh no.
And to this day, I'm not entirely sure if Derek understands the complexities of what he saw.
Very good. All right. Since Derek, you saw this, do you want to give me a number or roll on the VTT? I
rolled a 26.
26. Okay, let me see here. Somebody stood between you and what you wanted. What was it, and why did you do it? Why did you want it? Sorry. So who do you think stood between you and what you wanted? What was it, and
the thief?
Why? Oh, yeah. All right. The thief, capital T, capital T.
I wanted the latest model of eye implants because you got to stay ahead of the ads. Like the old models, they eventually start patching in things where ads get through. But Melissa's character wanted to sell them obviously for her big old trust fund that she's got. So
the gray market. It's all about the gray market.
It is the gray market.
We're so much more sold than in your body.
Oh, very good. All right. And Melissa, do you want to roll or give me a number between 1 and 34?
I rolled a 23.
23. You guys like the 20s. Somebody owes you their life, whether they admit it or not. Who is it? How come? What happened?
So that's a good question. Who wants to owe me their life?
I think, okay, so Jeff said Maitre said Derek, and Derek said you, so maybe it's Jeff, unless you want to just go double down.
So Zeno owes me their life. So why do we think that?
What would Long have gotten in trouble with that wouldn't maybe have realized it was a life-endangering situation?
Okay, I got one.
Oh,
I got one.
Okay.
Food poisoning.
Oh no!
Like Zeno eats anything. He'll absolutely eat anything. It doesn't even have to be an edible food. He'll just eat it. And he ate something once, and it was probably going to kill him. And he didn't want to go to a med place. He's just like, "Nah, it's fine. I'll be fine. I'm just gonna sleep it off. It's fine. I'm just go play League for 4 hours, and then I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'm gonna get up and check the markets." And then, but you were like, "No, we should go. We should go." And maybe that's what it is.
Oh man,
I like it.
All right,
I like it.
It's really good. Okay, now let's go in reverse order, and you can just pick whomever you want. And instead of somebody that your character has influenced another character, this is a relationship where your character has been influenced by another character. So we're just going to reverse it. Melissa, another number between 1 and 34, please.
I rolled a 2.
Ooh, exciting. So somebody does not trust you, and for good reason. Ask them what the reason is. Okay, so who doesn't trust you, and you can ask them what the reason is.
I'm going to say that the android doesn't trust me.
Makes sense. Derek,
I
why?
wonder why. She stole my eyes.
She stole my eyes. All right, that seems like a pretty solid circle there. Derek, do you want to give me a 1 to 34 again?
Yeah. I got a 1.
Oh my God. All right. Someone thinks you are not the sharpest tool in the shed and is working to enlighten you. Who do you think is trying to enlighten you? And maybe what topic do you think they're trying to enlighten
He's
you
trying to enlighten the android.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like because Jeff and I are roommates, he's going to be the one who doesn't think I'm very bright in something. I don't know what it is, so I'll leave that part up.
Oh, okay. Jeff, what do you think you would enlighten him on?
I mean,
rock climbing,
anime, rhythm games, rock climbing, esports.
All right, fair. Yeah.
Any of those things.
Any of those things. Maybe all of those things in circle.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, right. Very good. Maitre, 1 to 34.
28.
28. All right. Someone thinks you are soft. Ooh. And they want to make them and they want to make you as hard as they are. Ask them why they think you're soft. Ooh, like maybe emotionally soft or something. Who do you think thinks you're soft? And you can ask them why and in what way.
Who are we missing right now? Like who has only 1 instead of 2?
1 instead of 2. Let me think. Yeah. Melissa said Derek. Derek said Jeff. So maybe Derek thinks you're soft in some way.
Okay.
Or Melissa.
Cool. Melissa, because I picked Derek my first.
Oh,
one.
okay.
I was gonna say I saw her blind rage. If I think that's soft, that's terrifying.
Fair enough. All right, Melissa thinks you're soft. Oh, financially soft.
What do you think I'm soft? Yeah, it could be financially because I'm really
maybe you're bad with money. Oh,
what if it's just
really bad? Not
literally
just bad, like.
What if it's just like a texture thing?
You feel
you
soft.
Moisturize too much.
You're just
too
physically
much
too soft.
moisture. Yeah. Sorry, Melissa. What are you thinking?
So one of the traits that I picked was mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're okay with it, maybe like you use substances for kind of the escapism stuff.
I do.
And she's like a mind over matter. So
like the
maybe
AA sponsor.
Oh
man! All right,
and perfect for the 90s because like you're a straight edge.
Yes, I'm straight edge.
Are you in the DARE program, Melissa?
Oh man, DARE! Oh man,
yes.
Oh.
So she's a drug pusher? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, just like the DARE completely ineffective.
All we wanted to do is do drugs because of it. That's all we did.
Okay, and
so I would say maybe it's a little less judgmental than that, but kind of the like, I wish you would believe that you could do these things.
Do it without
like mind over matter. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that a lot.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Okay.
I learned it from watching you, Dad.
Ooh.
All right,
Jeff, give me a number. 1 to 34.
7.
Oh God! All right, we went from like the 20s to the below 10s. Someone grew up with you. Ask them where this was. Ooh, who do you think grew up with you potentially?
Who hasn't gotten a connection this round? Who hasn't gotten a target?
I think my Trey hasn't.
Yeah, because Derek did me.
Yeah.
My Trey did Melissa.
Yeah, and then
okay, I did do my Trey last time.
Oh,
so
okay.
We could do it again. I think that could make sense because she knows the dirt on me. So maybe she knows like when I was younger, I cheated. And so that kind of ties
I
back to
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now I don't. So what was the full prompt again?
Someone grew up with you. Ask them where this was. So I guess before you came to L5, maybe, but when you were like a real young child. Or maybe
because you said your parents upgraded, right? And you just
if you guys want, I actually do have. There are a ton of districts here. If you grew up here, the Voyager ward would have been built early on. Maybe you guys were early settlers and you were in the Voyager ward. Or I think there's one with a ton of Star Trek references. Do you want the Star Trek ward? I can give you the Star Trek ward.
Whatever.
Okay. So the Voyager ward is where all of the ships come in initially. It was an early build, and you can specifically, it's on starts on page 146. And you've got like a downtown, a corporate stronghold, hiding in plain sight sort of areas. But it was definitely an early district if you want to be like an L5 area.
Okay,
how
that
do
sounds
you
cool.
feel with that, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So maybe like the Venera district within the Voyager area. So maybe you were really early locals.
Mm-hmm. Mariposa. Oh, that's perfect.
Mariposa? Okay, great. Yeah.
Well, I just say Mariposa because we live in there's a place called Mariposa near where we.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's so cool.
Okay. But yeah, you can, maybe you're really familiar with this district. So if you guys ever end up here, we can give you advantage in that district or something for finding food or a store. All right.
Is that everybody?
I believe that is everybody. And that is on the dot 9 p.m. PT. So I think that is all we're going to be doing today. Jeff, do you want to close us out?
Sure. So a couple close plugs. Let's throw it over to Maitre first. Maitre, where can we find you on the internet?
I am to play games on YouTube where I make system agnostic or multi-system tabletop content that centers the GM and player experience.
Awesome. As for us, first thing I'm going to talk about, a couple games. I'm going to talk about Huckleberry. Our dear friend Steven has been making Huckleberry. You can find out more information on huckleberryrpg.com or find a copy of it on DriveThruRPG. And in a couple months, very soon, actually, I think it's just like 2 months. It's going to be up on BackerKit, and you can back it and get your own fancy, awesome copy of it. Then, if you want, check out our Twitch VODs, and then YouTube in a couple days. As last night, over the first time, we were play testing a game that I made called We're in Danger. It was pretty fun, and we're going to be doing a lot more of that on Mondays, so you can kind of check that out. And then in terms of streaming, next thing we have on the schedule is Thursday, where we're starting up Legend of the Mist. We did our session 0 of that game a couple weeks ago, so we're actually having our first play session this week. Friday, we've got Magnus Archives. You can see a couple of the folks here, myself, and Melissa. And then on Saturday, we've got some Call of Cthulhu as we're out in the jungles of the Yucatan. And we'll see. Well, I don't know if we're there yet, but we're actually in Merida. But we might go out into the jungles of the Yucatan. We'll see. Or I just might hang around and eat a lot of really good food, because that's what we did last Saturday.
It was yummy
food.
Yeah,
and that's it. Next Monday, come watch me fumble around with my own game. It's fun. Yeah, that's it. All right. So, I forgot how this works. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
And,
raid?
We'll see y'all later.
Yeah? All right.
There'll be a raid at some point here in a second, so follow it.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.